Launching a handmade business and getting little to no sales can be devastating. Trust me, I know. When I first launched my business Luna London, I basically had no sales. This forced me to go back to the drawing board and re-strategize and relaunch 6 months later. This was the best decision I could have made because 2 weeks later I sold out, and 2 months later I was contacted by Harrods to have my products stocked in their store. Reflecting back, there were so many mistakes I made, and in this video I wanted to highlight them because it's very typical rookie mistakes that I can now see and I can observe in other brands because I made them myself. So in this video, I wanted to highlight these mistakes so you can avoid doing them yourself. Subscribe and hit the bell if you are a budding small business looking to start, grow and scale your own business. You can also follow me on Instagram at The Small Biz Directive. Hey everyone, my name is Ashani and I'm the creator of Luna London, a home fragrance company which is now stocked in Harrods. I can't believe I get to say that, it's still so surreal. For those of you that have reached out and asked me, Ashani, how did you manage to get your brand in Harrods? It was a very difficult question for me to answer because there's no one specific thing that I've done, and it's a lot of action and a lot of strategy that has gone behind my branding. And so I'm so excited to announce that I will be launching a course really soon, so if you were interested in finding more about it, I've put a link in the description box below. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I have a very exciting giveaway that I can't wait to share with you. With all that said and done, let's get into the video. So guys, from the many people I've spoken to in the small handmade business community, so many of you are frustrated from low sales. After spending so much time testing and creating the perfect product, it can be really upsetting to launch to crickets. But I urge you not to give up. It's all a learning process and you'll definitely get there eventually. These mistakes, as I mentioned before, are very common with small businesses, so I'm hoping that by sharing this with you, you won't make them. Mistake number 1. I have seen so many businesses launch their product where it's clear they've done no market validation or don't know where their position is within the market. What I mean by this is, what I see is a lot of people just start a business based on something they like, they enjoy, without actually understanding if there are customers out there who want the product that they're creating. If you have a lot of passion but there's no profit or there's no proven profit, you basically have an expensive hobby and not a business. I know this can be really awful to hear, but without doing your market validation, without doing your market research, it's going to be very difficult for you to struggle. I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's not the rule, it's the exception, where someone, may start a business and they've done no market validation and they skyrocket. For the most part, you have to do this foundational work to be able to build a strong brand and a business that people really want to buy from. Mistake number 2. Launching to no audience. Now, I'm definitely guilty of this, especially for Luna London 1.0, and I know a lot of people are guilty of this too. I think it stems from people not wanting to put themselves out there or put product out there until it's absolutely perfect. And what this does is, if you're just going to launch out the blue, people aren't ready for it. They kind of just, it takes them a bit by surprise, and there's been no time where people have been drumming up excitement or creating intrigue around what is going to come, and they end up launching and basically no one really cares. And I know it's really harsh to say, but that's kind of the fact of the matter. There's people with their own lives, they're doing their own thing. So when you launch something and you've put all this work and they don't necessarily see that. And obviously people have their own lives, they're doing their own thing, so they may not be glued to social media and checking up on what you're doing, or so when you just launch your business out the blue, it can take them by surprise, they're not warmed up enough, and that can basically translate to having low sales or no sales at all, which is really sad. So I would say, if you are going to launch your business, make sure that you're doing it at the right time of year, and also start drumming up a bit of anticipation. If you're not too sure on the kind of content to post, searchable content is a really good thing to do. So that means creating content around keywords that your audience is looking for. And the other thing you can do is show behind the scenes, show a snippet of packaging, show a bit of the product that you're going to be creating, the materials, all of that sort of stuff will, it may feel maybe boring to us because we see it all the time, but for people who aren't aware of, what it takes to start a handmade business, this would be really exciting for them. Mistake number 3 is not having a marketing plan in place. So when I started Luna London, I had no idea that in starting a candle business, actually what you're becoming is a marketer, and you need to be a really good marketer to get your products sold and to be seen by the right people. You basically have to become a marketer and business owner first and a maker second. Now, I don't want it to get confusing of what I'm actually saying, I'm not saying that you put out shoddy products and you haven't tested them or anything like that. Of course, you need to make sure that your products are safe, that they like work, they perform, because that's what's going to bring your customers to you. But then after that, what I see is many makers don't actually spend the time to put their product out there and like, you know, have people, attract people towards their business. They are so like into the making side that they forget that, you know, you actually have to have your product seen. You could have the best product in the world, but if no one's going to see it, it doesn't really matter. So that's why I say that you need to become a marketer, and a really good marketer, to get your products out there. And that comes from having a marketing strategy. Just posting on social media, while it can, like, you know, we can see like with Reels and TikTok, think people's businesses are blowing up, and that's amazing, but you can't rely on something going viral to be, you know, what your business is based on, because that's very unpredictable. You want to have consistent sales, and that comes from having a marketing strategy. And when I say they don't have a marketing plan in place, what I mean by this is I see a lot of businesses only just posting product photos. And quite frankly, if you think about yourself, if you are looking at an influencer's profile and they are posting ad after ad after ad, do you take notice of it? Probably not. You end up zoning out. And that's the same way with a product-based business. You don't want to just keep bombarding picture after picture after picture of your product. You need to have your audience be engaged with you, want to see your journey, want to see, like, you need to offer something of value to them, which is free, essentially. And that can be through content marketing. Content marketing and having content pillars is really a great way to drive people to your page and end up following you. What's not a good strategy in trying to get followers is just by following other candle making accounts or following other handmade business accounts, because at the end of the day, those people are just interested in selling their product. They're not interested as much in engaging with your content. And I'm talking as a general population. Of course, there's going to be really good people that are going to want to, and you'll make friends with them, and they'll become your small business buddies. But for the most part, what I see is that there are, like, I have like candle companies start following me, but they won't engage with my content. So I've ended up either unfollowing them or removing them from my followers, and then they instantly unfollow me because they're not interested in actually the content I'm creating. They're not my target audience. All they're interested in is having their like follower count high. And honestly, that's vanity metrics. Just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you're getting sales. So having a good and proper marketing strategy is really, really powerful for your business, and is the difference that's going to make the difference. So I'm really interested to know, can you relate to any of these mistakes? I definitely can. I feel like these are a lot of mistakes I made. So for example, mistake number 3 for me, I was like in engagement pods right at the beginning, where, you know, I was just like engaging with other candle makers or other handmade businesses, and really and truly it didn't make a difference. It was a bit of a pointless thing to do. I mean, I made some good friends out of it, but, you know, in terms of the actual like growing my social media platform, it did not come from doing engagement pods or, you know, just following lots of other like handmade business owners. Like I said, it's great if you want to be like make friends with them and genuinely make a connection. That's something very different to just following each other to support each other. And I know that sounds really harsh, but having a lot of followers doesn't mean you're going to get sales, and I can't stress that enough. So mistake number 4 is kind of tied up with mistake number 3 in not having a marketing plan. But what people don't do is diversify where their traffic is coming from. So people may just, you know, you rely on Instagram as a place to drive traffic to their website, and quite frankly that isn't enough. Like yes, like I said, if your reel goes viral or something like that, then like it's good, but you need to diversify your traffic. And one way to do that is by optimizing your site for SEO. That is so your page can rank on Google, and that gives you free organic traffic, so traffic that you're not really having to work for once you've kind of optimized your site. Like maybe you have to do a bit of like a blog post here and there, but for the most part you're kind of ranking for keywords that your target audience is looking for. And I can't stress that's really, really valuable to do. It takes a bit of time to get on with, but it's really like worth it for sure, because you have this passive flow of traffic that you're not having to pay for, so you're not investing in Facebook ads to drive people to your website. So investigating SEO is definitely something to do, and not to just rely on one source of traffic. Mistake number 5, and this is something that I definitely did when I first started, is that makers don't really allocate budget to teaching themselves about marketing, or either to teach themselves or to get someone else to do it for them. what I found was that I spent so much money on, like I've said it before, fragrance oils, like different types of waxes, and yes, it's part of the growing process, but having an understanding of what your budget is at the beginning and allocating some money to either education or to getting someone to like optimize your website for SEO or doing, you know, those sorts of things. A lot of people don't do that. They only realize once they've launched that they're not making sales, that, oh crap, like what's going on, what do I do? And that's really sad, because that's the point where a lot of people just decide to like close up shop and, you know, say, okay, I'm not going to carry on with this business, it was a failure, whatever. But really and truly, it's not that the business is a failure or that your product isn't good. It's really just because you may not understand how to, like, you know, bring people to your product and like get them, like get their hands on it, because that's the most important part. Once you've got someone to get their hands on your product and they fall in love with it, you could have repeat business over and over again. So it's really, again, important to sort of set aside budget if you're like, you know, in the early stages of starting your business. Set aside budget to teach yourself how to market your business, because really and truly it like made the world of a difference to me. And I feel like since investing in myself and like my education and stuff, I've like really got a kick out of it. And I feel like now, instead of spending stuff on like, I don't know, toiletries that, you know, like fancy skincare and that kind of thing, I now like buy a course, and that's like the most exciting thing, because I love the fact of like, you know, finding something new, a new strategy, something new to try. So yeah, I've definitely seen the benefit for me within my business. So guys, that was it from me. Did any of those mistakes resonate with you? I would love to know if there's some mistakes that you feel like I've missed out and you think it's like very stereotypical, like rookie mistake that someone would make. I would love to know, and maybe I can do an updated video sometime in the future. But these were the ones that really stood out to me, that I see just time and time again. It happens so much. So guys, if you found this video a bit overwhelming and you're thinking, oh my god, I didn't plan to invest money in my education, or I didn't know that I had to learn how to market, don't worry, in my next video, if you hit the notification bell, I will be sharing how to generate income to help fund your business. As I mentioned also at the beginning of my video, my course will be launching very soon. If you would like to sign up for the waitlist just to find out more, you can go ahead and click the link in the description box below. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm really excited to do a giveaway with the lovely Grace, who is the author of this book, Candle Making Business 101. Let me show you. I'm really impressed with this book. It's got so much information in there, especially like the candle making stuff. I'm really impressed. Like bits in here, I'm really impressed. I think it's a really good handbook to have, especially as a beginner, but I think it can, like, you know, take you through your business as well. Yeah, and lovely Grace sent me this book as well as another copy that I can give away to you guys, which I'm really excited about. I'm also going to put a candle in there as well. You can choose whichever candle you want. So if you would like to enter this giveaway, please head over to the Small Biz Directive. That's where I will be hosting the giveaway. So guys, until next time, bye.